Hey folks, it's Coon with Fighting for Fitness. In today's video, I'm going to show you the recipe and how to cook my absolute favorite go-to keto-friendly mug cake. We're going to break down what it does to my blood sugar. We're going to break down what the nutritional facts are on it. And I'm going to show you how quick and how easy it is. And it's a great choice for a meal replacement or a bedtime snack. So here it goes. Okay folks, so these are the ingredients that I use for my absolutely delicious mug cake. First we got is the almond flour, and I use about 3 tablespoons of the almond flour. I use a heaping tablespoon of the cocoa powder, a heaping tablespoon of the sour cream, a standard scoop of the protein powder. That egg that you see right there is from our very own chickens. Now that egg may be frozen today. I just pulled it out of the chicken coop. It's about 35 below zero here in Fairbanks today. And although my chickens are inside my shop, it was still pretty cold out there. So we'll see. I use about a tablespoon of butter, 3/4 tablespoon of the pure vanilla extract. I use about a teaspoon of the baking powder and a tablespoon of the artificial sweetener. So I'll show you how quick it is to mix it up, and then I'm going to cook it in the microwave for about 1 minute. There's also another ingredient that I did set out, and that is frozen blueberries that I've started mixing in that I think makes it all just perfect. So you're going to see this thing only takes a couple minutes to put together, and I don't measure everything exact, so I'll show you just how I make these. Now again, I make these just on a regular basis. So I'm going to call this about a tablespoon of butter, pretty close. Crack the egg in there. Doesn't matter what order you put these things in. Glad to see my egg wasn't frozen. Dry. So putting the almond flour in first, and I don't even get anything exact. 3 of those. Tablespoon of the cocoa powder. Now this one can really vary to taste, but I got just a little bit heaping there. I'm going to go with Stevia next. And this one I do keep fairly level. I don't do too much of the Stevia. And that's kind of an acquired taste. It has a little bit of an aftertaste to it at first, but you get used to it. So my sour cream, kind of a heaping tablespoon of sour cream. And I do about 3/4 tablespoon of the vanilla extract. Put that in there. We're done with that. And then the way I measure out the baking powder, it's just about that much. That's good. That's all there is to it. Now, next thing I'm going to do is just mix these up. If you wanted to be a little bit more, detailed about it, and if you didn't want it to be quite as lumpy, you could melt that butter first. But I almost always forget to put something in if I'm not paying attention, so I realize I didn't put my protein powder in. So there we go with that. One of the things that's different about this mug cake recipe than some of the others that you'll find is I have found that I love to put frozen blueberries in. I do about a handful, so I don't know, a half a cup of frozen blueberries in there. I mix them in, and then when I cook it for about a minute, it still leaves the dough just a little bit soft, or the bread a little bit soft, which is just the way I like it. So here goes. So I kind of fold these in. I don't leave them on the surface. Now when I first started doing this, I put those blueberries on top after it was cooked, and then I poured some half and half over the top, and then that actually froze the half and half to make it like an ice cream. That was fantastic, but I found that I like doing this better. So next thing that we're going to do is we got this all mixed up in there, is we're going to put this in the microwave for 1 minute to 1 minute and 10 seconds, and then we'll see how it turns out. That's good. So I cooked this for about 1 minute and 10 seconds, and it's still just a little bit wet in the center, which is just the way I like it. Now, one of the things that I like to do to top this off is I'll top it with a little bit of half and half, or I'll use almond milk. But in this case today, because I'm out of both, I'm just going to top it with a little bit of milk. You don't have to top it with anything if you want. It's still really good. Before I have my mug cake today, I'm going to get a baseline on my blood sugar. The past 2 times I've tested it, my blood sugar started off around 83 one day and 85 the next. Both those cases I had worked out previous to checking my blood sugar in the morning. I didn't work out. My workout plans kind of fell apart this morning, so I haven't worked out, but I have been fasting for about 15 hours. It is almost 1 o'clock. I don't know if you can see that. But we'll check my blood sugar and see what it is. $91, which is a little higher than I thought it'd be, but it's still well below 100. So that's our baseline. So this is normally my last meal of the day, or if you've watched my other videos, this is what I eat at about 10 o'clock because I don't like going to bed hungry. Now, eating that late in the day, as I mentioned, it's not ideal. But anyway, I'm going to eat this as my first meal of the day. We'll see what it does to my blood sugar. Oh, that's so good. If you love chocolate, these are amazing. The blueberries in there, that's the magic. So a couple of neat things about this. There's a lot of protein in here. So if you're lifting weights or you're an athlete, it's a good meal replacement. If you're in a rush and don't have time to fix anything else, again, it's fairly low in carbohydrate. So if you're diabetic or you're struggling with your blood sugar, it works well for that. And the reason that I add blueberries is, although blueberries are a carbohydrate, they do have a very low glycemic index. They make it taste great, and they're good for you. All right, folks, so it's been about 30 minutes since I finished eating that mug cake. I sat down and did the calculations. I'll put them up for you, but I came to a calculation of about 25 carbs and a total of 485 calories, 22.75 with fat and 42 with the protein. So that had a little bit more carbohydrates than I had ever realized. I think it still should be pretty good as far as being keto friendly, but we'll see what it comes out to. Good amount of blood this time. Here we go. Huh. All right. Well, I sure did think it would go higher than that, but there we go, 100 points. So I'm pretty happy with that. I really did think it would go a little bit higher. That didn't even bump me as much as the omelet, but I started from a little higher place as well. So that certainly could make the difference. All right, so I'll wait another 30 minutes, check it one more time, and then a full hour later, so we'll see what it is. What we've discovered in the past is it peaks right at this half-hour mark and then drops a little bit after that, and we'll just see how much, and I'll be back in 30 minutes. So we're 1 hour from when I ate my mug cake, and so we'll see what blood sugar is now. I'm actually not really sure what's going to happen. Each other time it dropped at least a little bit here at the 1 hour mark. So we'll see what happens. It's a little after 2 o'clock there, if you can see that. There we go. Okay, looks like that's going to be enough. 96. So looks like my mug cake recipe is keto friendly. Yay! All right, check it again in another 30 minutes. Okay, didn't change at all from the last one. We're still at 96. So, thought that was kind of an interesting experiment. Worked out great. Mug cake still keto friendly. Remember, my goal is to keep my blood sugar from going over 100. because roughly between anything less than 100, your normal range typically is between 80 and 100. No really concerns unless it gets below 70, but in that ballpark is considered a normal fasted blood sugar. So I figure if I eat and my blood sugar response does not come over 100 and I stay within the normal range of a fasted blood sugar, I'm in great shape. So again, if you're worried about your blood sugar levels, let this be kind of a good guide for you as to some of the foods that you could eat. I certainly do appreciate you taking a moment to hit the like button or the subscribe button if you're enjoying this content. If you have any suggestions for other video topics or other foods that you'd like me to try and see what they do to my blood sugar, put them in the comments below. Remember, you're not too old, you're not too late, get after it. That's a wrap. Woo! I gotta get in shape.